we've seen that there's a need, and the need for most people is to get leads, right? You need the leads.
Most coaches that do anything online dislike the process of growing their organic reach or starting conversations. All right, so Andrew and I have been working on a pretty cool project, and we're going to give you like the 15-minute cliff notes of it. So sit down for 40 minutes. You better strap in. You know how we go. So, but we've been working on what we're calling the AOM, Automated Outbound Method. And it really has to do with two key components in social media. Specifically, we're focusing on Instagram and Facebook, right? There's many other platforms, and there are things you can do outside of those too. So LinkedIn, TikTok, X, there's definitely stuff there. But a majority of us coaches are focusing on those platforms. So that's where we're focusing our efforts out of the gates. Andrew, to kick this off, and you're more of an in-person coach, like the online stuff, not your jam. But if you had to say like, hey, I consistently showed up every day and followed and friended people, engaged on their posts, liked their stuff, made comments, and then started conversations every day for a year, is that a yes or a no for you and your history in coaching?
Well, to qualify, online coaching is not my favorite.
Just give me the no. Just say no. Just say no. Just say no.
How do you know, Apple?
I know you. Just say no. Because here's why I know the answer. A, I know you, but B, most coaches that do anything online dislike the process of growing their organic reach or starting conversations. We know we have to. We hate the idea of sending cold DMs. And there's people who have built businesses of, oh, never send a cold DM again, right? And I think that there's some plausibility to that idea. But what if sending cold DMs on automatic was actually a way to go out and grow your business? So you didn't have to do the thing, but we also thought about it intelligently and we weren't coming across desperate. What if we actually just leverage some of these systems to enhance our organic? So as you're showing up every day, posting and smiling, and doing your TikTok dance and all the things, it actually got in front of more people that are potentially interested in what you're doing. And that's really the two, I would say, big goals at this point in time. How do we start some conversations, and how do we make our organic content go further? So that's been the big focus of this project we've been working on. It's been about 5 weeks now. We're literally launching in hours at this point in time. It's not days, it's not weeks, but it's in hours of this is going to go live and be available for you. And the best part about it is we're charging like $40. We've put weeks of work into this, and we're going to teach you the things to do so you're up and running in under 30 minutes. And we're trying to make it as affordable as possible. The cool thing is all of the people that are in our Empowered You platform, they're getting it included just because they're a part of it and they get all of that stuff, right? So, but there's two key components here is we leverage these systems to automatically kind of qualify the right people, our ideal client personas, so to speak, and then start engaging with them on social media. And the idea is, hey, reciprocity exists. And if we can get somewhere between 25 to 30% of these people to automatically follow and engage with us back. So I follow you, I like your post, you then are following me because 1 out of 3 people do. Listen, if I get 3 or 4 new people per day to follow me because of this system, at the end of the month, that's an extra 100 plus or minus people that are now seeing the content that I'm putting out there and now start to understand, wow, this person does this thing. They solve this problem. I have that problem. I should go do this thing. I should reach out to them and have a conversation. That's like step one. Like, let's grow organic. Like you and I dislike the social media game a lot. I would say you're more entertaining at it than I am, which is good. But it's always hard. So like, hey Andrew, if we install this on your profiles and you're going to double your followers every month or whatever the case may be, or double the amount you're getting, I should say, not double your followers. Doesn't that add a little key? Yeah, overnight we're going to double your followers. Talk about, $10,000 and 10 clients in 10 minutes without lifting a finger. But I feel like that adds a little motivation to go show up and post and do the thing and leverage the marketing plan you put together, wouldn't you say? Yeah.
Yep.
Man, a few words. So as we think through that, like that's big thing number one is your organic content is going to go further because you're going to have more people looking at you, and they're likely qualified in the sense of they're people who are probably looking for whatever it is you're offering if you set things up accordingly, right? Because you can go ahead and follow a bunch of people and like a bunch of people and it doesn't actually yield the result you want. That's not the goal. The other side is, let's say you like them, you follow them, you do the things, all the stuff. They're the right person. Then on top of it, they follow back and they start seeing what you're posting. How cool would it be that every new follower to your Instagram page or to your Facebook profile, you get new friends, you just reach out like, hey, Andrew, thanks. Appreciate the follow. Quick question. What are you currently working on? What are you doing? What's your goal? I'd love to make some content or throw some things your way to help. Not passive, but elicit an answer, a question, something like that. And what if just half those people responded and say, hey, I'm trying to figure out, should I weigh my pasta wet or cooked? I don't know what to do about it. I'm trying to better understand how to coach my clients and leverage biofeedback. Okay. Hey, I have something for you. We actually just recorded a podcast for this. I'm going to send you the link, no problem. Now, the key here is we send out a first message automatically, but the subsequent messages need to truly be you and you have to show up. But on the other side of this, we've now taken something that either takes you hours and turned it into minutes, or we've taken something, which this is the one that more likely applies to you, that you're not doing and you know you need to do, and we're going to start doing it for your business, which is only going to help you grow. So all that to say, Andrew, what questions, what's top of mind for you?
A lot. Do I have to say yes or no this time?
No,
you were pretty adamant. No, I mean, so here it is. And this is not a pitch podcast, guys, just so we're all clear. We've seen that there's a need, and the need for most people is to get leads, right? You need the leads. And when we say leads, we're talking about helping people find and solve the problem. And so just to put this in the bigger picture for you is that if you want to make this a sustainable career for you, you're going to have to find people. And how are you supposed to find people if you don't talk to people? And so imagine now walking through the grocery store, looking for a client, trying to talk to every single person that was in a specific favorite food aisle that you have. Like maybe you really love sriracha, so you hang out by the sriracha sauce. It would be really hard for you to like cultivate that many conversations, would it not? And I'm sure that most of us would agree. So then the question is, how do we work smarter? And how do we have conversations with people that would like to talk to us? Because one of the worst things to do is to feel like we're in a call center and we're sitting there trying to, hey, do you have 5 minutes? Is now a good time? Click, fuck off, die. And like we don't want to have that kind of interaction. It doesn't make us feel great as coaches at the end of the day, because we're here to help people make changes that are positive for themselves, their lives, and their communities. So how do we do that? Well, we need to find the right people. How do we find the right people? Well, you can manually go in there and look for people under different hashtags, which is a viable strategy. You go look up fitness or fitness tips, click on that, go and find the biggest post on there, and then literally go into the comment section and find the people that are commenting things that you agree with, that you align with, that maybe you can help. And that's how you literally go through and manually do this. And obviously it's 2025 when we're recording this. So we want to make this as easy as possible. So how do you have something go out and do that for you, that on the back end of that, all you have to do is then facilitate the actual conversation that is unfolding in an organic way, in a way that's not contrived, in a way that's actually legitimate and helpful. And so that's where having this resource is going to allow you to do that. But by and large, like the principle is still the same, and you can definitely go do this without the course. You can go and do this without the content. Although if you want to stand out, it's going to take you a very long time to build that. To give you an idea, I've produced probably 750 posts on my Instagram specifically. It's my longest standing channel outside of Facebook. And I'm at like 2,900 followers. right? So when you think about that, going through there, talking to those people, like, not saying that you have to have a huge audience, but you do have to have the right audience if you want to start to make some dollars to transition. And if you're looking to make this full time and transfer out of your current career, those are the steps that you're going to have to likely take at some point. If you have the resources and the funding, we would suggest that you do it earlier. And if you don't, then you need to go and beat the streets manually. And that can be very daunting for some people. In fact, when I had a CrossFit gym and I had no clients to fill it with and I had all this overhead, my investor at the time said, guess you're going to have to go door knock. I was like, fuck that. I'm not going to door knock. Right. Which is where I started to get very active on social channels. And I played around with spending money on ads, which I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. Like, I'd be like, here's $20 to go take this one post that I put up there and see how many people will circulate and go and like the page. And it didn't convert to more clients. So doing something like this is going to potentially get you the right people. And we're not saying it's 100% effective, by the way. Right. But it's better than the behavior of having to go in there, allocating an hour of your time every single day, because it'll literally do it for like an app, like 10 minutes, Steve.
Even less than that. I mean, depending upon the platform. And you know, you bring up a good point. Everything that these systems do, you can do on your own manually. They do not do anything outside of that that's super special in what you can do. They save you time and they guarantee you do it. Those are the two things that they do, right? But some of them can, like, some of them you don't even have to show up but once a week for 10 minutes and make sure it's connected. So there's a lot of time savings in there. Now, there's also things to be careful of, and that's stuff that we go over in there. Because frankly, companies, their social media, like, they want you on there being social. So using automations and bots to not be social and interact is exactly what they don't want to happen. So we have to be careful. If you go turn these on and do 100 things every day, you're going to lose your account, right? So don't do that. We do go over kind of a ramp up schedule, give you some details on there. But yeah, and it guarantees you do it and it saves you a bunch of time, are the two big benefits out of this. So either A, you can spend more time delivering service to clients. You can spend more time on sales call. You can spend more time planning. Maybe you can spend more time working out, jumping in your sauna, having some free time and enjoying a weekend. Whatever the more time is, but you get time back. And it is literally hours per week, without a doubt.
Oh, yeah. You got to, I mean, I was looking at this the other day because you brought this up and I was like, I wonder how I would perform against that. No, going in there and commenting on stuff, and then you got to respond to the comments, which, like, you know, may or may not lead to a conversation. And so, like, those are the things that you're just using it the same way that if you imagine someone back in the 1800s during the gold rush, they're trying to find a nugget of gold. And rather than using the tools that they're supposed to be using, they're out there using their hands, like try to stick their hands in the water and find, and hopefully a piece of gold just happens to land in their hands. Like, that's what most people are doing when it comes to business. And so we'll tell you the principles in this case. Like, you need to go talk to people. How do you facilitate that without burning yourself out? And how do you allow yourself more time to go do other things, which we're not saying go fuck around, especially if you're in a building phase and you're starting your business and you want it to be your main thing. You're going to get burnt out and you're going to have to work hard for probably a good 1.5 to 2 years to set your mind to it. Like, that's the reality of it. Anyone that tells you anything less than that, I knew a guy that sold his car to pay for a $25,000 business guru to basically keep him at the same revenue level of about $4,500 a month, because he would gain clients and then he would lose just as many clients every month. Right. So there's a certain way that you want to go about layering this stuff on there. And at the end of the day, the work is the work, and good business is good coaching, and good coaching is good business.
I will say on that story, I just learned of a client of a company that is my client, and that client sold his horse to buy their program.
No.
He went out and made so much money, he was able to have money, a bigger business, and buy his horse back. It completely succeeded. He bought his horse back. And I'm just like, that, like, in those moments, like, great, that's amazing, I love that. But let me sell my car, my only means of transportation, and not get any better is like, that's one of those, like, man, this is why you and I exist. Anyways, sorry, rabbit hole there, just because you brought it up. But you know, we want you to win.
That's why we do it.
And that's what this thing is about. So we're taking information, that you could otherwise get on the internet. We've spent weeks putting it together. It's in a, hey, go get the thing. You could do all the stuff on your own. You might learn things that you then go do on your own, actually going through this.
I
If
hope
you,
so.
here's how much I want to make sure you know this isn't about us making money on this. If you mention the podcast episode or this episode at all about our AOM, when you reach out to Andrew or I on social media, we will give you course access for free. Okay. Right now, saying it, you'll get it for free because it's not about that. This is something that coaches absolutely need. If you've already signed up and you're doing a thing and then you hear this, sorry, you're not getting your 30 or 40 bucks back. But if you hear this and you're like, hey, I want the thing, let us know. We'll give it to you because that's exactly what we're here to do.
There you go. I mean, at the end of the day, you guys got to understand the information's available. You can find anything out there. It's the context and the way it's laid out and the way it's explained that makes a difference for people. And so when you think about like, all right, well, you can go look up whatever. Like one of the things that I think Steve talked about is a platform called Pepper, right? Go look up fucking Pepper, play around with it. But it's still not going to tell you how to integrate that in with your business model, which is why coaches exist to help people do that. But programs also exist to give you a structure for integrating it. And the most important thing that's not even relevant to this conversation, but is so much more important than this conversation, it's not about the information you consume today in 2025. You have so much at the access of your fingertips. It's how do you take that information and how do you integrate it and how do you use it in how to improve or optimize your current offerings or how you run things. And if you're not integrating it, then you're just doing what we call mental masturbation, which is just like, you're learning something for the sake of learning it, which is probably meaning that you're a perfectionist. You're not taking the action you need to, because integration of information is more essential than the information that you're actually gathering these days. And I hope you really spend the rest of the year of like, how do I make something happen? Not how do I learn how to make something happen? And then you never actually do it. So that's my soapbox.
Quick one, short one. Subscribe, make a
That's what she said.
comment, reach out. Let us know you heard it and you want the info. We'll send it your way. We appreciate your time. We'll see you next time.